Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei. Today we have some different content, but not necessarily because it's still related to Minecraft events. But there is a Minecraft snapshot that was released today, or at least very recently, according to this. Today, 22nd of January, Minecraft snapshot was released that fixes parkour. Now, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a backstory to why this is such a big deal, because you may be unaware. A few days ago, as in like roughly a week ago, Mojang put out a snapshot that changed parkour, or more so changed movement in Minecraft. Stuff like 45 degrees, increasing your movement wasn't a thing anymore. Stuff like shifting and holding your sprint or doing it with ice wasn't a thing anymore. If you're not sure of what that means, I'll show you in a bit. But a lot of things that are very normal in terms of parkour, people are used to it. People that or things that felt like proper mechanics within Minecraft that allowed for multiplayer and single-player parkour experiences to be a bit more different than just straight-up parkour, have now or were changed at the time. And I'll show this tweet from Ham Sandwich. It kind of puts it into display. There is on the left 1.21, which is the previous old version, and on the right was the snapshot that changed things. And you can see how for something like bridging, the difference here is that on the left you can bridge faster while you hold shift and go in a 45-degree angle, whereas on the right that was no longer the case. And this also applies to 45-degree strafing in the air, which helps you reach a little bit more distance, and that's pretty much the whole thing here that was put on display. Got a lot of attention, 2.8 million views, 11,000 likes. Clearly a lot of people had something to say about this, but thankfully today, or actually before we get into that, I'll show you this as well from iTeamG. This is a before and after as well of iTeamG, who you might know from building some of the MCCI parkour courses, the old version 1.20.3, showcasing what the old movement looked like. So this is what people are used to. It's fast, it feels very nice and smooth, and here this is what it was like when it was changed. You no longer can do the very quick stuff in terms of what's it called? Spamming on ice blocks and going quick while shifting. And then also they showcased how just 45-degree angles when you're sprinting or just in general were no longer faster. So, thankfully, on the 22nd of January, these changes have been reverted. And this is very notable because Mojang is acknowledging things that I don't think it has acknowledged before, which is why this is such a big deal. So, to put it into perspective, or to more so just to explain what happened, is they reverted two fixes. Diagonal movement is not normalized when crouching or using certain items, which is the 45-degree bridging and movement, etc. That people put on display earlier. And then the player continues sprinting when performing actions that slow them down, such as shifting or swimming or stuff like that. So all that, there's a lot of outrage about that, has all been reverted. And then there's a developer's note, which is very interesting because it goes as follows. After consideration, we have decided to revert both fixed bugs. While we do want to revisit these mechanics in the future, it's clear that these recent fixes alone didn't quite hit the mark and caused too many negative side effects for parkour, speed bridging, and movement in general. Them acknowledging speed bridging is interesting because I don't think that's been talked about before, but it is a common term from stuff like Bed Wars, right, that you might have heard of before, that Mojang has now officially acknowledged. At least one of their developers has acknowledged that that is a feature, or at least a part of Minecraft that is often enough used to be even acknowledged by the devs of the game. One thing that is also interesting, maybe slightly scary, but we'll see exactly what they're gonna do, is that they do want to revisit these mechanics in the future. I don't know necessarily what they're gonna do to it. There were previous tweets as well, I think from Sandwich Lord and other people, when this initial quote-unquote fix, aka this worse version was created, kind of questioning why these changes even need to be made. Are they actual bugs, or are they just happy accidents that end up being part of the game and end up being enjoyed by many people? we don't know. They're probably not going to give us the full behind the scenes info on why these movement changes were made, or what specifically their thought process was, maybe what their issue is with the way it's, used to and was like for the longest time. So we'll see what they end up actually doing, because it is Mojang. They actively want to update their game. They touched PvP many times, and that seemed like they were gonna overhaul it, and then they didn't. So maybe this will be another situation where it seems like they're gonna overhaul movement again, and then they don't. We don't really know. And then also here, if we go back, it's ITMG here shows that they actually reverted the changes, even the one from 1.20.4, which I was not expecting. Thank you all so much for signing the petition. And that showcases the gameplay as such, where boom, 45-degree angle gives them just enough reach, then they can spam there, and then they can also bridge to the other side just fine. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful moment here from Mojang. Thank you for listening to the community and bringing things back. If you want to get the full picture, maybe from some people who are a bit more experienced, a bit more knowledgeable about these topics than me, on why these changes were such a big deal, and kind of want the full story of why there was such an outrage of it, I recommend watching Choof's video and maybe Phoenix's video as well, because they obviously Choof is a very experienced parkour person. They are probably one of the most notable parkour related content creators, and Phoenix covers Minecraft update content frequently, almost daily or at least weekly, right? And he'll probably give some more insight on it than I can. So thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good time learning about these updates, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.